Dr. Dave here. If you are a fan of Rush, and especially Neil Peart, you probably know that one of the biggest events of the past year was the inaugural Bubba Bash, held at the Keswick Theater in Glenside, PA, and started by the guys of YYNOT, a band that has dedicated much of their career to Rush tributes, as well as their own catalog of progressive material. So you're happy, I'm sure, to know that there's going to be a Bubba Bash 2, a Bubba Bash 2024, again this year, at the same place, same location, pretty much all the same players returning. Matter of fact, I think every single one of them, plus a few extras. So I was very happy to get to talk once again to Tim Starace and Billy Alexander of YYNOT about the plans for this next Bubba Bash, as well as some stuff that Billy has going on for himself. So without further ado, here's my interview with Tim Starace, bassist, Billy Alexander, guitar of YYNOT. Welcome, gentlemen. How are you guys doing today?
Very good. How's it going with you?
Not too bad, I guess. Can't complain too much, although even when I do, nobody really cares. So.
Oh, so you're married? Yeah, you're married, right? Yeah.
Oh, okay. For all intents and purposes, yes. If I want somebody to care, I'll get a therapist.
Strike that.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate it. It's good to talk to you again. It's been 10 months, I guess, probably since the last conversation at this point. So that was right before the original Bubba Bash.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm really excited that you guys are going to be doing a second one. Now, I know back then you said you had the intent that this was going to be an annual event. And so I'm excited to see that coming to fruition. And it makes me curious, like, what does it take to make this kind of event into a reality? Because it seems to me like, wow, it's a lot of moving parts.
A lot of luck.
Yeah.
A lot of hard work. A lot of crossing your fingers. Just a whole bunch of stuff, Yeah. But apparently that 2-week period from New Year's to the Super Bowl is like the international bands don't do anything holiday, So these guys, a lot of people are available, So,
fair enough.
It's a lot. Billy does a lot of, coordinating with the set list and, making sure the artists know, what we have in mind. And, I'm, getting the venue ready, and it's a lot of work, man.
Right. I can imagine.
Yeah. It's worth it though. It's a lot of fun. So this year it'll be on January 6th at the same venue as last time, the Keswick Theater in Glenside, PA. And the tickets are kind of like flying right now. So if anybody hears this, go get your tickets now, man, because there's not a lot left. And if you dawdle, you're going to be, bummed out.
Yeah,
it's going to sell out again.
I was slightly late getting into the pre-sale, and already like big chunks of the venue were gone. I'm like, holy smokes, this is going faster, I thought, than even last year, which makes sense. But it's so exciting that it's being embraced this way. And I honestly feel lucky that I can travel easily to the venue, because this just as could have easily been in Toronto or nearly any other big city. And here I am. Wow, I get to go to this, which is cool, awesome. Man.
Yeah, ticket sales compared to at this point last year are 100% better.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, so there's nearly 900 tickets sold to the event. So
yeah,
at least 500 sounds like a lot left, but not for this.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. And it was such a great event last year. From what I'm seeing, you got back everybody, I think, that was a guest performer last year, and you've added a few. So I know who they are, and it's out there, but I'm going to let you guys talk a little bit about who's joining the fray this time around and who they are, and what their connection with all of this is, which I'm sure is neat.
Shall we start with the members from last year and then get on to the new guys?
Yeah.
All right. Billy, would you like to handle that?
Well, let's see. Joe Bergamini, Mike Portnoy, Jason Bittner, Seven Antonopoulos, John Dinklage, and who am I leaving out?
John Wesley.
That's right, of course. Yeah, John Wesley,
Frank Bello.
Yeah. And that's
I think we got them all. That's the 7.
Yeah, from last year. Yeah,
the Magnificent 7.
That's right.
From last year.
Rides again.
Yep, Magnificent 7 rides again. Oh shit, T-shirt.
All right. Yeah.
And
you need the soundtrack playing.
Yeah.
All right, and then this year, Andres Ferraro, who's a drum master. He also did some stuff. He knew Neil and all that. And he's currently working with Jonathan Dinklage on Broadway right now, drummer.
Wow.
So he's going to come play. Ed Toth, Vertical Horizon, Doobie Brothers. He's going to come play a song. And Dan Avidan from Ninja Sex Party. He's going to come sing a song. Also known as Danny Sex Bang.
Okay.
Yeah, he sounds like a fun dude.
I heard that part. I didn't hear the band name before, which took me by surprise.
Ninja Sex Party. Well, these kids these days.
Right.
And then we're going to have an MC this year, a mistress of ceremonies, the wonderful Kathy Rankin, who does a lot of stuff like this, like the Heavy Metal Hall of Fame. She's been a Rush fan forever. So yeah, we're expanding. We're expanding this year. Right? And
I gotta wonder if that makes it harder to divvy up the songs to play for everybody. Do they draw straws? Do they get a picking order? Mike Portnoy gets first choice, right?
You know what? The one thing about Mike, he doesn't play that card, man.
Nice. No.
He doesn't play that Mike Portnoy crap. If anything, he's puts himself behind everybody and which is really, everybody was like that,
I think in this year when we were talking with everybody a couple of times, he used the word it's all for the collective.
Nice.
Yep.
I think that was his phrase, which really was great and he was the one kind of going, look, I don't want to, whatever, I only need this, and you take, and the other guys are going, no, you, man, so that's the cool thing about these guys. The first time we met them last year, it was just so much fun to watch the camaraderie, the respect, the laughs, but yet always that undercurrent of what it's for, what it's about. All that just added to something that I know personally, I didn't really sort of put into the equation because I didn't have anything to compare it to. But just going into it, you're so focused on just, doing the job and having it go off with a bang and successful and everything. But reflecting back on it, I can just see in my mind's eye these guys, just the way they were, just like smiles nonstop from beginning to end, everything. We almost couldn't even get through sound check because, it's like, guys, there's no rehearsal. They're Rush songs. We've never played with you before. And the doors are in like an hour, and we have like 5 minutes for you guys to try these songs with us. And they're over there going, it's almost like you had to break up a party because they're all just chatting and it's like, I hate to be but we do got to do this,
Yeah.
Wasn't it? It was like that.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was like a really cool boys club. And another thing about this group of people, like when it was all over, I remember just like doing the big collective sigh. Yeah. Me and Billy are just talking, and we look at each other and we're like, man, everybody was just so cool. You know what I mean? You have all these big name artists, coming together for this really unique night of family and remembrance and celebration. And I'm going to use French here. There wasn't one dick in the whole group. Everybody was just caring and giving. It was like Chippendale. Everybody was there for the cause, and there wasn't an ego in the house. Nice. And that made me love them all more. It was just great.
that's awesome to see people come together like that. And as you're talking about it, it suddenly dawns on me. I'm like, wow, it's like I actually can compare a little my own experience to it, which, believe it or not, that's a long story that I won't go into now, but I have put on about 3 charitable concerts involving all high school students and things like that. And same thing as you talked about, it's what made me think of it. I'm like, oh my God, it's the same experience I had where you just bring in this diverse group of young people, different bands, different music. Maybe they know each other a little bit, maybe they don't, but they were also wonderfully cooperative and invested in it and supportive of one another. And, you know, like to me, to my experience, that's musicians. Honest to God, that's why I love them.
Yeah, because this whole event was like a huge booby trap just waiting to go, you know, but it didn't, you know, because everybody was there for the same reason, including the fans. Yeah. You know, it was just great. I can't wait to do it again. I'm super stoked.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm super stoked to see it. And I think back, I'm like, for a night, honestly, that I would say was full of highlights. For you guys, what would you say were maybe a couple of the biggest highlights?
There you go. I'm going to just say losing it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And there they go again.
Yeah.
I remember just hanging out with Billy like for that whole song. You know, it was just, I didn't want to leave his side. It was just really, really, really special.
Yeah.
You know, it was incredible that we were playing this song for these people with these fabulous musicians,
right?
You know, and I don't think there was a dry hot eye in the house or on the stage.
Yeah,
it was really magical, moving moment.
Yeah, it was incredible. Yeah, there was a couple that was definitely, I agree, that was sort of the pinnacle moment that just stands out for all kinds of reasons that Tim just said and you'd expect. There were other ones too, but you know, it's funny. It's like when people talk about, you know, I think they sometimes will ask athletes about career moments and stuff, and they'll actually stop and they'll go, you know what? Actually, some of the best moments were like on the practice field or in the locker room with the guys or like that, you know? So we even had some great moments with fans after the show. So it was all just from beginning to end. The show itself, every part of the event was great. So there was little highlights along the way. Playing with Mike was a blast. That was a real treat, playing La Villa Strangiato with him and 2112 with him. What else did we do? I guess that was mostly it.
That's what we did with Mike, yeah.
Yeah, and then Jason was fantastic. They're all fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's just really great.
and I'm going to keep saying this the whole time we're talking about it. And super nice guys.
Yeah.
Like the coolest, you know, it was just awesome.
Yeah.
You know, it was no tiptoes. Everybody was just hanging out, man. And they were all on the side of the stage cheering on their brothers behind the kid.
Yeah.
You know,
Phil for Phil.
Yeah. It was like 5 or 6 drummers. I'd look over to my left and, you know, all of them are doing this, you know, on Tom Sawyer. You know,
the line dancing version of air drums.
Well, and it's also like being on the sidelines. I'm doing football again, but being on the sidelines and watching your teammate score a touchdown. And then when he comes off, just going like, dude, that one, you know, whatever Phil, their language is, it's like, you nailed it. It's like touchdown. High five.
That's awesome.
Especially stuff like, well, all of them, but like natural science. I think Jason was like, he came off from playing that. And I think he said something about, there was one particular Phil, you drummers will know which one it is probably. Right. He goes, I was sweating that one. He goes, once I got past that one, I let out the air. That was the one I was worried the most about. Once I nailed that one and it went okay, I was like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah. It works, man.
It's reassuring to the rest of us that don't necessarily do that, to hear that the guys at this level still have those little insecurities and those little moments of nervousness too.
Oh yeah. Well, also look at whose drum parts they're playing and who they're there to honor. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot for a drummer. I mean, my gosh. I mean, we all have that, but particularly for Bubba Bash with your fellow drummers in the audience,
Right.
the whole thing about Neil and everything. It was just really like, if I was one of those guys, I'd just be like, whoa, man, better not screw the pooch on this one.
Yeah. But it goes to show their work ethic too.
Absolutely.
We literally ran over the songs once each with every one of these guys at an extended sound check. And that was it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then every single one of them nailed it,
Yeah.
And that's kind of like our MO and why not anyway, because we don't rehearse. So we come extremely prepared,
Right.
and these guys did it,
Yeah.
pros.
They sure did. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And I'm with you on, I think losing it was big for me, because despite the fact I was at that final tour, Philadelphia was not a venue where that song was performed. So I never saw anybody perform it live before. So to see it in that context at that time just really made it amazing, to think that, here I get to finally hear this by one of the guys that went on tour with them, to play it. And it's just very, very, very cool moment.
Yep.
So I know there probably are challenges to, and maybe a feeling to at least match that, if not top last year. And I certainly know you're going to want to hold back some surprises for the night of the show. But I'm curious if you can talk a little bit about your thought process going into that, and if there's anything at all you can tease a little bit that might make this a bigger event than last year, even in addition to the additional players.
What do you got, Bill?
Well, I mean, I don't speak for anybody, but I don't know if it's about really topping anything. I think it's going into it now with having done it once, and maybe bringing more people to the party, both literally on stage and also, in the audience, and hopefully raise even more money. That's, I think, the biggest thing we'd like to top.
That's the goal.
Right.
Is raise more for Cedars-Sinai. That is the it's not even the cherry on top. It's the thing.
Yeah.
It's the whole Sunday, man.
Yeah, it is. So I think it's really more about that than any. Now, as far as surprise, I mean, we have a few other additional guests that Tim mentioned. And, not everybody's going to be playing the same song. So you might see somebody, if you were there last year, who played such and such song, you might get a chance to see them play such and such other song.
And we're adding some new songs this year.
Correct. Yeah. So,
right.
So that's, I'd say it's just, we're just going for, it's a new year, it's a new show.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine people not loving it, Yeah, we're going to have a blast again.
Oh, yeah. It's going to, it's just like there's so much to go into doing this, and every little part of it, like Billy said, is a big deal.
Yeah.
That I don't feel any one thing is more exciting than any other that's in it. We are going to explore a newer region of Rush than we normally play.
You have anticipated one of my other questions I jotted down. I'm just curious, are there Rush songs that have not been in your repertoire before that you kind of have on a bucket list of, we've got to get around to playing this, and wondering, it sounds like you might be doing one or two of those on this show, huh?
Yeah. That's
3 or 4.
True.
Yeah.
But,
interesting.
The challenge with that, though, is like, if let's say we played a certain song last year with one of these drummers who we've never played with, that's a challenge unto itself, but we're familiar with the song because it's part of our show. Now we might have a couple songs where none of us have ever played the song with no rehearsal with each other. Wow. And oh, by the way, it's an intense Rush song, so it's not like
yeah.
What key's it in? Don't worry about it. I'll shout out the chords. There's only 3 of them. No. This is not jam night at the local bar, which I love, but that's not what this is. So
Yeah.
we're going to have to be on our toes. And like Tim said, we're going to have to do a lot of homework and just, let the spirit of the evening carry us through and not have, if somebody makes a little mistake or something like that, it's just like, you just got to smile through it and go, it happens. I mean, it happened to Rush occasionally. I'm sure even when they were rehearsed and on the road, I'm sure they had a couple bumps in their set, so it's okay.
There's nothing that could happen during the Bubba Bash that would make it suck.
No.
It's just impossible.
Yeah.
And
I'm confident saying I don't expect anybody in that crowd to be judgmental about any error. It's just I don't think so. Billy looks surprised.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
We're talking about Rush fans, right?
Really?
We are talking about Rush fans.
Yeah.
No, I think you're right. I think people, when they know, especially the people who are familiar, if they weren't before, with what the night is. The other thing too is, and not to step on too much time here or anything, but the last year was also, as Tim has mentioned before, I don't know if you knew this, but it was really kind of our show that was booked, and then Tim with Michael Mosbach and these guys sort of turned it into this last kind of minute idea of, so we kind of started our own show and then it morphed into the Bubba Bash. Right. This year is really not that, because these guys booked it for the event. Right. So the whole show is going to be really all about that. I'm not sure where I was going with this, but I guess just kind of pointing that out as far as people knowing what to expect. So some people last year might have gone in thinking, well, isn't this a YYNOT show? What's with these drummers? Whereas this year, everybody's going to know what to expect. That no, it's all about guest drummers.
Right.
Yeah, I guess that's what I was trying to say. So
I have a better idea. There were no surprises in that realm, I guess.
Right.
And for the sake of, stretching the show out long enough, YYNOT is going to do 3 or 4 songs.
Yeah.
On our own. And, just due to, how many songs the guest drummers, preferred to do or not. So we want to give everybody their money's worth.
Sure.
And plus, I want to keep them trapped in that venue as long as possible so we can get them to scan their little barcode and keep giving to Cedars-Sinai.
Yeah.
That's another thing. All the money that's raised for this through T-shirts, auctions, poster sale, any merchandise that we sell, all of that goes directly to Cedars-Sinai. Plus, we have a direct link to Cedars-Sinai in Neil's name, so you can donate anytime, anywhere, and everything that we're going to have there that night's going to have the QR code. Just shoot it. It goes, like I said, it goes directly to Cedars-Sinai. So when you're donating for the Bubba Bash, there's no third-party middleman,
right?
Fundraising company, group, or anything. It goes right to Cedars-Sinai's picture of Neil on their website. Glioblastoma research. Oof.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'd forgotten about the auction last year. Now that you mentioned that, I know I was involved in a couple of them, and some of them took about 30 seconds online before they exceeded my budget. There were a couple of them that I was looking at them going, oh, I want this. Yeah. And I don't even remember what it was now. All I know is I'm like, oh, I'm getting it. Oh, I'm getting it. Sniped at the last second. Somebody took it out from under me. I'm like,
I just recently started trying to cull some items for the fundraising. And I can tell you that Sabian, Chris Stanky and Sabian, will be donating another symbol. This is one of the steampunk symbols. It's not signed by Neil, but it was a symbol played by Neil.
Oh, cool.
So it's an actual, show symbol that we will have for auction. Comes with a certificate of authenticity from Sabian. So this isn't crap. We'll probably get some artwork and who knows what else will pop up. Like I said, I just started trying to procure some items.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious too, because I know you talked about the main goal to top this year was what you did last year. And I'm curious, do you have numbers as far as what you raised last year through this event?
Between what we raised at the venue with selling everything, and with the eBay auction and via everybody shooting their little QR code, Michael Mosbach, had spoken to Cedars-Sinai, and from this date to this date, including the money that we sent them physically, over $100,000.
Wow. Really? That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. That's
our initial estimate, based upon just what we had in our hands to send, was $50,000. But then Michael got the numbers later on. I'm like, oh wow, holy crap! I'm going like this over 50. So yeah,
let's double it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Double it again. Let's do it.
Wouldn't hurt my feelings if we tripled it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whatever factor you want.
Yeah.
Hey, sky's the limit.
It's a good thing, and it's fun.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
We get to go out there and play some kick-ass music for kick-ass people with kick-ass musicians, and have fun and raise money. And it's working out perfect again for us, because we're going to be in town for a show the night before in Connecticut.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the exact same scenario. So YYNOT's already in town. Everything's just working out great. Oh, okay. So we will have this year, not Mr. Ungerleider, but one of his lighting people from the Rush tour will be running the lights.
Oh, wow.
For the show.
Yeah, that's
so we're bringing in an extra light package, so he can program the whole show to the set list. So some of those lighting effects and scenes that you Rush fans know so well, will be replicated.
Cool.
At the best we can do, and a member of their sound crew, Anson Moore, will be running front of house. Yeah. So, guitar solo, it goes up, bass solo, it goes up, big drum fill, stuff like that. Not just the fire and forget,
right.
Type of audio engineer. And by the way, Anson Moore donned the chicken costume more than once on the R40 tour.
Really?
Yeah.
Do they still have that?
I don't know. I know nothing.
The chicken costume.
You remember, right?
I think that's what they call a tease.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just saying he was in the chicken costume a couple times.
Jeez. Now you need to obtain the washer and dryer that was sat in the background.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. All right. Well, that's anything we've not covered that I've missed and asking you about for this concert that you want folks to know going in.
Come see the show. Come have fun. You know, and if you can't, go to Cedars-Sinai, Neil Peart's page. I'm gonna say the link out loud. Hold on, everybody. Okay, come on, open up. All right, it is giving at Cedars-Sinai, Neil Peart brain tumor research. That's the link. So if you just Google Neil Peart Cedars-Sinai, you'll get right to the link. Give early, give often.
And in the video version of this, I will make sure that is on the scroll at the bottom.
Awesome.
And in the comment section, so people can find the link easy peasy.
Yep.
Make sure that they have that.
YYNOTband.com.
Yes.
You can go there and direct link to the tickets. You can sign up for the newsletter and get any little updates and all that stuff. And it's going to be a blast, man.
Absolutely.
And if you can't make it, donate.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
Even if you do make it, donate.
Yeah. We're going to have laminates again, for sale for donation. $10 gets you a really cool commemorative laminate, and it just happens to have that QR code on it. So anytime during the night, you can just keep shooting it and donating loot.
Yeah,
right to Cedars-Sinai. And of course, T-shirts and hopefully most of the guys will be available for autographs after the show.
Yeah,
we had a pretty healthy. I think there were 1,400 people at the show last year, and I think we signed 1,400 things. You know, we were there for like 2 hours, over 2 hours.
Yeah,
after the show. Yeah, it was but it was great. Everybody was buying a poster. You know, all that money goes right to Cedars-Sinai.
Yeah.
You know, buying a shirt. You know, it was so fantastic.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's it, man. Help us out, and if you know, just help us out.
Will do. I'll be there.
Yeah.
My friends will be there. We're very excited for this event because all of us that are going went there last year. Keswick's a great theater. My girlfriend complains because she doesn't like having seats. She wants to stand for her concerts. But I don't mind sitting. I'm good. And you know what? People may be on their feet anyway. So
yeah, that happens a lot at our shows.
You can definitely stand in between the songs.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
it certainly gets in the way of people moshing, which I don't need to do. Makes me happy.
Yeah.
So that's not also the only thing you guys have going on currently, because Billy, my understanding is, sir, that you have a solo album that is going to be coming out in the very near future, including a first single that's already dropped. Why don't you tell us about that a little bit?
Yeah, I'm still completing the record, but there is an instrumental. The rest of the record has vocals, but there's a single that's out now everywhere that you can check out. And my buddy here, Tim, is guest appearing on one of the tracks. And
okay,
Mike
that face sounded familiar.
Yeah, and Mike from YYNOT is also playing on a couple tunes. And I just got to get it finished. It's but it's very close, and we're looking at early next year, sometime in January, probably obviously after the Bubba Bash and stuff. But that's what's going on with that.
Right. Rock and Roll Diary is the title, correct?
That's the record. Yeah.
Yeah.
The single is called Alpha Rhythm.
Yeah.
The that's out now, the instrumental track. Yeah.
Interesting that you led with an instrumental for the single. I wonder the thinking behind that.
It really wasn't any thinking, because that's not normally what I would do. I think what happened was our manager just said, "Well, there's really no harm in putting it out on your Bandcamp, you know, while you're finishing this thing." And then once it was out, just figured, well, let's just go ahead and run with that in the meantime. But it certainly was not like part of the plan to like have that be the lead off single. So it's almost kind of like an early release more than a single, to be honest with you.
Well, didn't we start a couple albums with instrumentals?
That's true.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah, so ain't true to form.
Billy, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Where can I get Alpha Rhythm right now?
Oh, well, on my Bandcamp, you can, there's high quality download. You can also, it's on all the streaming services, you know, all the Spotify's and Apple Music's and Amazon's and stuff like that. So since it's not a physical product attached to the full album yet, it's just in that digital domain.
Yes. And I'll say they can find the link on your Facebook page right now, right? For YYNOT? Yeah.
And you can also just you can punch my name into the search browser for whatever. Or
and there's a page on the YYNOT.com website as well.
Yeah, and BillyAlexander.net is there's nothing there but Alpha Rhythm, so it's very clean.
If you can't find it, just grab a kid and they'll Google it. You know, right?
Find a young person, right?
Because it's there. Yeah, you can't miss it.
Grab a kid. I don't know why I visualize somebody grabbing a baby. Babies not yet.
Hey, kid, find this for me.
Hey, you may be surprised. Some 2 and 3 year olds out there probably are already.
Believe me.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They could design you a whole website probably.
Yeah. But I checked out the tune. It is very cool. It's definitely, you can hear some Rush influence in there, but it's its own thing. So it's not like it's just this lost Rush song somewhere along the lines. But
thanks. Yeah.
You know, if you threw it in one of their albums stylistically, you would go, okay, yeah, I can hear that.
Okay.
You can hear that influence in the playing and that style and all that. So
yeah, well, it's hard to wipe off.
I know
it is, right?
And who would want to? Exactly. Right? Worse things you could be called than someone who sounds like Rush. Much worse things.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. Thanks for the shout out.
Oh, absolutely, man. You know, you got things going on, and you're doing this great work with this concert. It's like I said, it kind of jumped out at me out of the blue. I remember at the end of last year when I found out about it. That's, you know, when I reached out to do the interview, I'm like, I got to help publicize this thing, man. This sounds awesome. And it absolutely was, you know, for those that weren't there. It's a great venue in a great little town in Glenside, PA, right outside of Philly. And it was a blast. It was an absolute blast. You get to hear your favorite Rush songs being played by all these different people, but you guys primarily. And, you know, it's for a great cause. And, you know, this year, I've got a wee bit more cash on hand, so I can participate a little more.
Yay!
Actively in the
it's all about, man.
Yeah.
You know,
looking for something to put on the wall back there.
Oh, another thing, all of the artists are donating all their time.
Oh, yeah.
You know, seriously. You know, they're just, what? I'll be there. You know,
it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm loving it. So I
want that known. Everybody's just coming on their own
very cool
free will.
That's beautiful. And I'm glad for it. Hopefully, free will. You almost got that past me.
Well, you know, it depends on the circumstance.
Honest to God, if I'd gotten at the end, of this and looked back and went, he just snuck free will past me and I'd catch it. Like
Tim's always working, man.
Yeah,
I am.
I would have had to.
I'm always beneath, between, or behind something. All right. In the end, I just want to say,
oh, jeez. Okay.
That I'm really in the mood.
Oh, boy.
That's impressive.
Yeah, very good, Tim.
I'm out.
That's impressive. The dad jokes must flow freely with you.
I see red.
Yeah, right. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate your time. I love talking about this. I love talking with you guys, and I look forward to seeing you live and seeing the rest of this. Once again, folks out there listening, watching, you haven't got your tickets yet, you can be in the area, do it. Don't wait. You'll miss out.
Bubba Bash 2024.
Absolutely. Excellent. Thanks so much, guys.
All right, guys.
Take care. Have a good night.
You too.
Oh my God, what a great conversation with those guys. They're absolutely awesome and just fun to talk to every time. So very nice and so very personable. And Tim's ability to just throw out Rush title puns left and right is pretty awe-inspiring. I gotta tell you, I don't think I could possibly keep up with him. And fortunately, we have limited time. Otherwise, we might still be going. He's that good. But I want to thank Tim and Billy once again for your time and also for your cause. And for those of us seeing this, obviously Neil Peart has touched us all in some way and meant a big part to our lives. And let's do everything we can to help blow away that $100,000 total from last year. Let's crush it. Let's double it, quadruple it, whatever we can do. If you want to go to the show, tickets are available. You can find the link on YYNOTband.com, or you can go through the link through their Facebook page. They're going to sell out, folks. Don't waste time if you want to be there. Get your tickets now. They will sell out. If you can't be there for any reason, look for the auctions on eBay, because when they go up, it's going to be some great stuff. As you heard Tim talking about, there's some wonderful things. And there were some wonderful things last year. I missed out because I was too poor. I might be able to spend a little more money this year, so maybe I'll get something this time. But if you can throw your money in there a little bit and get something great for yourself and support the cause, because all that money goes straight to Cedars-Sinai, as well as if you can't do that, go donate. The link is on their band page, their Facebook page. You can do that and donate to the cause as well. And it all goes straight to Cedars-Sinai. It's a great cause to prevent other people from having to go through what Neil went through, and for their families to have to lose them as Neil's family lost him. So do your best to help support the cause. Many thanks once again to Tim Starace, Billy Alexander, and the rest of YYNOT for this show and for supporting this cause, and you guys for giving me your time to talk about this. Billy, I wish you the best with the new album. The first song sounds great. I'm sure the rest of it's going to sound wonderful. And hey, in a few months, going to see you guys once again at the Keswick in Glenside. Hey, and if you're enjoying what I'm doing, if you're a prog noggin like me and want to keep up with the world of prog, or you're enjoying my reaction videos, or a bit of both, do me a favor, hit the like hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell, get all those things done. And you know what? You can follow right along with the adventures of Super Dave and Bleeding Edge interviews and keep up with everything I'm putting out. It will tend to be sporadic, but we'll see what happens. If you got the bell hit, you'll know when it's out. So thank you once again for watching. I appreciate your time. This is Super Dave signing out.